What's going on, y'all? We are back this week to review season 5, episode 2 of Power. This is Damage Control. Now, y'all, let me just say this. I know last week I was all here for Power and everything, and I am still here for Power, but I just feel like the show might be losing a slight bit of its edge. Because it's just not giving me what it was at one point. You know, it just really seems like a lot of storylines are being stretched unnecessarily, and I don't know if it's just my angst in wanting to see certain things happen, or it's just the fact that the show might be losing just a tad bit of its edge. But anyway, we're gonna talk about it, so let's just get into it. The episode starts out with two guys down at the pier, and they get approached by another two guys. They like, what are you doing here? And the first two guys we see, they like, you know, we don't want no trouble, whatever. And the other two guys, which we find out are Jimenez folks, are like, you know, get out of here, okay? Y'all go ahead on about y'all business. And they walk away. They start to walk away. The first two guys, they start to walk away. But of course we know they ain't just gonna walk away you know, quietly. So they start blasting. Everybody starts blasting. The two Jimenez guys end up killing the other two guys and tossing them in the water. Okay. So, back over at the St. Patrick's residence, everybody is still mourning. Well, not really everybody, but we see Tasha. She's grieving. She's crying. She's in Raina's room. She's crying. Tariq is just laying around looking stupid. Ghost is kind of just looking like he's in a daze. And Tariq enters the room where Tasha is and asks her if she was okay. She gets up. She says, I'm fine. Go back to bed. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Anyway, so over at the office with Angela, Mock, and Cooper Sachs, they are discussing the Uriel murder, okay? Because we remember it was actually Ghost that killed Uriel. It was Tommy and Ghost that killed Uriel. But they're discussing it, and they don't know that at that point. So they're coming up with theories about who killed Uriel and why. And they think that the Connect killed him because the money and the drugs were gone. Okay, so they just theorizing, well, the Connect probably killed him because the drugs got seized and whatever. They say they trying to get ballistics on that gold pistol, because remember when Diego killed the couple in Manhattan, they used that gold pistol. So they're trying to make the connections, basically. Okay. And then we go back to Ghost and Tasha's house, and Tommy walks in. Keisha's cooking breakfast. They sit down, and Keisha's trying to get Tommy to give up some 411. Like, she still don't know what's going on. So she's like, what is going on with Tasha? She asked me to alibi her and Tariq that night. So what's going on? Tommy's like, you know, it's best that you don't know, because you just won't ever have to say anything, and I'll owe you, basically. Meanwhile, Tariq is eavesdropping around the corner. And we also see that Tommy slid his little hand on Keisha's thigh. Now, it's looking like they working up on some sympathy sex, or, you know, at some point soon, but we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, okay? Tasha and Angela. This is where Tasha was at, because remember, Ghost asked Keisha where Tasha was. She said she had to go out. So Tasha's actually somewhere with Angela, sitting down, looks like a little restaurant or diner or something. And Angie needs to know who else knew or knows that Tariq and Ray Ray were hooked up. Okay. So Tasha's like, I don't know. Because that's when Angela said that they were running this burglary ring that Tariq was involved in, Tariq and Ray Ray. And she's like, find out. Okay. And gave her this phone. And it's like, let me know as soon as you find out. Hit me on this phone. Okay. And then this scene right here is where Ghost, Tommy, and Kanan, this is where they start talking about how the hit on Dre went wrong. Okay. And they trying to figure it out. Kanan's like, my dudes did what they were supposed to. So, I don't know what you're talking about. And Ghost is like asking like, well, what happened? Okay. And that's when Kanan says, I don't know what went on, but I know I ended up with this card. And he shows him the card and he says, yeah, I remember these cards floating around when I was locked up, but don't nobody know where they came from. And that's when Ghost says it's the Jimenez. So they putting it together right at that moment. Like the Jimenez, in order for Dre to go, the Jimenez have to go too. Okay. So, and we already know Dre got big Jimenez balls now. We'll talk about him in a little bit. But that's when Jason Michich pulls up. Because remember last season, Tommy brokered a deal with Jason. When Ghost was supposedly getting out the game, Tommy went on and did his own thing with Jason. And Jason says, that LA Port deal was some bullshit. That it fell through, so now you owe me $2 million. My drugs were gone. My drugs got seized and you owe me $2 million. And they was getting ready to kill all of them. But Tommy's like, whoa, we can make this right. Hold on. I got it. We gonna take care of the Jimenez and I'ma still get you the shit that I promised you. Okay. But Ghost didn't know about all of that. Okay. So you could see when Tommy mentioned that he was kind of surprised. So anyway, they have no choice at this point because Jason is like, I want my money. Y'all gonna get my money. And you right here, Ghost, you in it now, and so are you, Kanan, basically. So Tommy pretty much gets his ass out of that vice in that moment. But in doing that, he also just put Ghost back in where Ghost really didn't want to be. Okay, because Ghost made the point, he's like, Tommy, this is not Lobos. This is not that other Serb that they killed. We not dealing with them. Okay, we dealing with a whole different type of animal called the Jimenez. So Tommy points out, he said, if we are able to take out the Jimenez and get Jason on our side, Dre becomes a clean kill. So it's a win-win situation. Okay. So that's what they gonna have to do. And because Mitch is shit, he gonna kill their ass if they don't. So that was that. Dre visits this crazy ass Diego at his apartment. Okay. Diego's in there getting busy, right? I feel like that scene was highly unnecessary. I mean, but whatever. It just is power. So it's going to be sex scenes. But I just feel like, child, I don't want to see Diego getting busy. I don't want to see that. But that's when they start talking about that whole situation. Diego said the keys were gone. And what's going on with the international clubs? What's up with Karen? When she gonna put you on with the international clubs? Dre's like, I got it, don't worry. And Diego's like, all right, well, I need you to get on it then. If you on it, then be on it. Okay, so Dre, I think, might be realizing he's in a little bit, he's in over his head. I really think, though, at that moment, he might have really started to process that he is dealing with Diego Jimenez, that nigga ain't dealing with a full deck. You know, but that's what he wanted. That's what Dre wanted. Dre wanted to basically be Ghost, okay? But he went about it all wrong. So now he in with this crazy Diego dude, and ain't no turning back, okay? So back at the office is Mock, Nutsacks, and the black dude. I can't remember his name, but they all discussing the Miguel and Maria Suarez situation, and they still are going back and forth because Cooper Saxe is determined to put an end to Angela's career. Okay, that's really what he wants to do. So he's holding on to this story with all of his might, saying how Maria was in the trunk of a car, what she felt, what she heard, but again, she didn't see anything. And that's Mock's point. Mock is like, she didn't see shit. So how are we going to go through with this, but Cooper Saxe is still like, but she's credible. Okay, and that's when the black dude in that scene is when the black dude finds out that their intent, Cooper Saxe, his intent is to get Angie's job. Okay, and he was like, well, is that why you told me to keep it from her? So they still want to prove that James St. Patrick is in fact Ghost, and want to, while doing that, want to get Angie's job from her, because they know that when it comes to St. Patrick, when it comes to James St. Patrick, Angie just got the can't help it. Okay, so they know that they can get her caught up like that. So that's what they trying to do. Now, James and Councilman Tate, they're discussing fundraising plans for the Queen's Child Project. And Tate wants Ghost and Tasha to do a press conference about Raina's death and offer a reward for her killers. Now, he wants them to do that, of course, because it's going to look good for donors who want to donate to the Queen's Child Project. James is like, I'll talk to Tasha, but I'm pretty sure James knew that shit was not going to fly with Tasha. But, he says, I'll talk to her, okay? So, then we had Tommy and Sammy. They're at Tommy, because Sammy grabs Tommy and is like, come on, take a ride with me. And they end up going over to what looked like a garage where Carmine was. Carmine was one of the hitters that Tommy enlisted last episode to get Dre. So Carmine tells Tommy what happened, okay, at the hit. And it's like, dude was strapped. He got away, okay? So Sammy's not happy, okay, because he's vouching for Tommy. And Tommy just went and did this this cowboy shit on his own when after Sammy already told him to stay away from those two dudes. So Sammy's like, you gonna have to tell, because Tommy was going to shoot Carmine and kill him. And Sammy was like, ho, ho, ho. Nah, that ain't how we do shit. Okay. You gonna have to go and tell Vincent what happened. Okay. And Tommy's like, well, just give me a minute. I need to talk to Terezi. Let me figure this out. Okay. So then we have Mock and Proctor. Okay. This is stemming from that conversation they had earlier in the office. Okay. Because now they're trying to do whatever they can to get Angela caught up. So the only one person they can think of that really has any type of like concrete knowledge about any goings on that could get Angie caught up is Proctor, Joe Proctor, which was we know was Ghost's lawyer before Terry. So he approaches Proctor at a bar and basically was like, I'll drop this complaint against you if you give me info. You can give me intel on your former clients. Talking about James and Tommy. So Proctor's like, man, please, if you don't get your whack ass out of here, I ain't giving you shit. But then Mock is like, well, how you gonna support your daughter if you can't practice law? Okay. And we know how Proctor feels about his daughter, of course. You know, we saw he was dealing with his crazy baby mother the last season. So Mock threw that in there really just to try to, you know, force him to do this. Okay. And now Tasha and Ghost, they're talking. This is where Ghost asks Tasha about the press conference, and of course Tasha ain't with it. She like, nah, but we really need to send Tariq away to school. I think it's a good idea. Ghost is like, I don't think it's a good idea. Well, not so much as he doesn't think it's a good idea, but he said he doesn't know how he feels about letting Tariq out of his sight right now. So I don't know. I guess that remains to be seen whether or not they actually send him away to school. But that's when Tasha also asks Ghost about who else knew that Tariq was hooked up with Ray Ray. And Tasha is, you know, she was against, not only was she against the press conference because of the principle of it, but also because she's like, if any information comes out about Ray Ray, that can link everything back to Tariq, and we don't need that happening. So, you know, it's understood that the press conference isn't a good idea. So Dre and Cristobal, they're talking about Uriel being dead and how Uriel being dead has caused this vacuum, like this leadership vacuum. And Lorenzo and Arturo, these are the two dudes that Angie and them was talking about earlier in the episode when they was trying to put the pieces together about the murders. Okay. But in this scene, they were talking about how the two of those, Lorenzo and Arturo, they want to be head of the Toros. Okay. Dre is like advocating for Arturo because he say, you know, his man chimes in, 2-Bit chimes in and says, you should go with Arturo because he young and you could tell him what to do. Okay. Lorenzo, on the other hand, Cristobal was like, I think he would be a better choice because he already in the game, he heavy in the game, he already know what's going on. We wouldn't have to do too much with him because he already know what to do. But Dre and his ego is like, well, I'm going with Arturo. Okay. And Cristobal said that's not a good idea. Well, that's the choice I'm making. Okay, so Dre is really, really power drunk right now. And he's listening to 2-Bit. 2-Bit is this crazy, wild ass press for the spotlight dude, kind of like a baby Dre almost. And Dre is listening to this nigga blind leading the blind, basically. Okay, but Dre wants to go with that because Dre wants that power. He wants that power. He wants that authority, but he is clearly missing the point, you know. So they like, all right, well, we gonna kill Lorenzo. But 2-Bit's job was just to go and get the shit, okay? That's what his job was. But again, he is just this wild off the cuff type of dude and took that shit too far. We'll talk about that in a minute. So Kanan and Ghost are stalking Dre, basically. They sitting outside and they see Dre and 2-Bit come out. And they're like, we could get him right now. But he like, nah, he got to lead us to the Jimenez. Kanan and Ghost had this little exchange where Kanan says Tariq is a gangster. He was born into it. Kanan up to something, and we'll see that, you know, because Tariq ain't no gangster. He not. But Kanan made the point to tell Ghost, like, you know what? If it wasn't for Tommy, you would be dead. And you know, if it basically because Terezi came through for Ghost in jail, okay, and Kanan pointed that out, and it had Ghost looking at him like, yeah, you're right, okay. So Mock is still on his bullshit. He approaches Terry about the fact that Terry wasn't listed as a character witness on the whatever that list is for that hearing for Proctor. And he subpoenas him, you know, because Terry was like, I don't need to be. He don't need me, you know, so I mean, it just is what it is. And Mock subpoenas Terry. So Terry has no choice now but to appear and testify at Proctor's hearing. So we get another scene with Ghost and Tasha where they agreed to send Tariq away to school. And Tasha asks Ghost about going to this grief group at the church that Pastor Macedon leads. And that's when Tasha gets a text from Angie about Brains being dead. And because remember earlier in the episode, Angie looked up Brains and Big Country and found out they were both dead. So that's when she gets a text, and that's when Tasha finds out who Tariq was hooked up with. Or maybe am I missing something? I'm not sure. Y'all let me know in the comments. But it's always so much going on in the show. But that's when Tasha texts Angie about Brains. And they matched the gun to the Jimenez murder in Manhattan. That's when they found out it wasn't a connect that killed Uriel. It was not Uriel. It wasn't the connect that committed the murders in Manhattan. It was actually Diego Jimenez himself. So, and that's when they find out that the Jimenez is the connect for the Toros. So Tommy and Terezi, he goes and sees Terezi in jail, and Terezi told him, like, look, you did some crazy shit. You need to go and you need to tell Vincent what happened. You need to apologize and you need to take the punishment like a man. And you should have come to me Okay, you should have come to me first, but since you didn't, you're going to have to just do what I'm telling you to do and just go own up to what you did. He also told Tommy to never tell Connie that he's his son, because that will put her in the grave sooner rather than later. Now, Proctor's hearing, we find out that Proctor changed his name. His last name used to be Savella, I think she said, but Proctor changed it in after Proctor said he changed it after his mother got remarried. His father got killed and his mother got remarried, so he took his stepfather's name. And we find out that Proctor's father's family was a family of gangsters, basically. So Proctor says, you know, that's why I decided to be a criminal defense attorney, because I believe in justice. That's not me. I'm not, you know, I'm not a gangster. Okay. So Terry testifies. Terry told the truth. Okay. Mock was sitting there looking pleased. Terry was like, the lady asked him, do you think Proctor is ethical? And Terry said, basically, Proctor lets his emotions get in the way of his logic when it comes to being an attorney, basically. And that his relationship with Ghost pretty much means more than ethics to Proctor. So I guess we'll see how that turns out. I don't know. But Terry told the truth, and Mock looked like he was satisfied with that. So then Tommy and Sammy and the doctor go back to the garage to see what was up with Carmine. Carmine's dead. Now, Tommy knows for sure at this point that he in some shit, because he done got 2 of they folks killed. And you know, I said it, you know, I knew Tommy was going to be getting into some shit when he decided to do that. So here we go. And what's that boy's name? Spanky, the little dude with the glasses, the funny dude with the glasses, and 2-Bit, they riding and they see Lorenzo. And 2-Bit decides to take that opportunity to kill Lorenzo. So he takes it upon himself to just roll up on him and shoot him. So Lorenzo's dead, but Spanky was like, you know, I don't think we should be doing this, but he did it anyway, of course. So at the grief group, they praying, and Ghost is just pretty much taking in, you know, this, like, just kind of digging the scene, you know what I mean? As they're praying, everybody else has their eyes closed. Ghost is just scoping out everybody, and he was already against going to the grief group, but he was there for Tasha. So they tell a story, a couple tells a story about how their son got killed by a drunk driver, and Tasha was about to share with the group how she felt, but Ghost stopped her. So Tasha didn't like that, okay? And Ghost calls when they get back home. She was like, I need to talk about how I feel. I can say what I feel without saying why. And Ghost was like, nah, that's not a good idea. Them people don't, we different from them. They don't know how we feel. So Tasha didn't like that. She storms out of the car and was like, well, you know, maybe if they have a group for murdering drug dealers, that'd be better for us. So she slams the door, runs upstairs. Ghost keeps calling Angie. Angie's ignoring him. And then Ghost also calls Rashad and tells Rashad there's going to be no press conference. Tasha's against it. And Rashad was like, okay, well, I'm having this event. It's like a mixer. Just bring her there, you know, and we'll, you know, maybe she'll feel better about that. Now, back at Angie's office, Angie is, that's when she gets the files on the Manhattan murders. And this dude is the little clerk. That's the login information she was using to log in to find out that, you know, when she was going to when she deleted the gun, and she's been logging in under his name. And I'm like, damn, Angie gonna throw anybody under the bus to serve her purpose. And that's messed up, because the dude was like, listen, I'm sorry I called you radioactive, and you know, ever since you stopped dealing with that dude or whatever, you all right. But at the same time, Ghost is calling Angie on her phone. So, and Ghost is drinking. Okay, so he's not doing well. And he told Angie he's not doing well. Dre and 2-Bit, they get into it at this point, because 2-Bit comes in boasting about the fact that he killed Lorenzo. And Dre is like, mad about it. He's like, yeah, all you were supposed to do was go and get the shipment. I did not tell you to kill nobody. And he was like, what you 2-Bit's like, what you tripping for? I saved you money and time. You know what I'm saying? And they get into this whole exchange. He's like, and this is where Dre really starts to try to toss his weight around as, you know, the head of this operation. And he told the boy, like, you work for me and you do what I say do. And 2-Bit was like, nigga, I knew you when you was nothing. And Dre called the dude a boy, talking about you work for me, boy, and just crazy disrespectful, just way too big for his britches. Needs to be taken down a peg or two. Okay? Where that's from, leave it in the comments. So Kanan is watching the whole time. Now Tasha and Angie, this is where they sit down, and this is when Angie tells Tasha that there was this burglary ring, and Tariq was a part of it, but Tariq will be fine as long as he doesn't get implicated in the ring at all. Okay, so Tasha takes that information and, you know, goes on ahead and, you know, goes on about her business. Now Dre goes over to meet up with Arturo, okay? And he is introduced as their new boss, as the Toro's new boss. And he says to Arturo, he was like, yeah, you know, that's all right how you killed that nigga Lorenzo. You did kill him, right? Arturo was like, yeah, I did. But you see how he looked at Dre. Like, I really believe Arturo may be a problem for Dre coming up, because Dre thinking that just because Arturo is young, that Arturo is gullible and won't, you know, but I don't know. I don't know. I think he might be mistaken. I think Dre might really be mistaken. Kanan and his dude, they talking, and we come to find out that Kanan is trying to take over Tommy's organization. So that's why I said Kanan's up to something. So then Tariq and Tasha end up talking. They back at the house and they end up talking. And that's when Tasha tells Tariq that he's going to be going away to school. And Tariq says everything that happened to Raina was all my fault. But Tasha makes it clear, like, I'm still your mother. I love you. You know, I don't like the choices you made, but I'm going to always love you. And I think it'll be good for you to get a fresh start. So Tariq asks Tasha where she was going, and that's when Tasha says she was going to an event for the Queen's Child Project. Tamika Mock and Cooper Nutsacks, they are talking about, they now know that Tommy is Terezi's son, but they're curious as to why now are they just starting this relationship. Sammy, this is where Sammy, Tommy, and Vincent are all together. And Vincent tells Tommy he don't like what he did. He fucked it up. He fucked up. And that he's going to have to pay restitution to the two families of the two dudes that got killed. And he's going to have to take a 50% hit in the business that they're doing. Okay. Tommy said he took care of it. Okay. And Sammy vouched for him again, you know, because he's right there in Vincent's presence. So he like, shit, you know, but Tommy is taken for granted that he has the support of these Italian people off the strength of his father. Like, they are dealing with Tommy off the strength of his father, not because they just mess with Tommy like that. You know what I'm saying? So Tommy need to chill out too. Okay, so Sammy vouches for Tommy in that moment, but when Vincent walks away, he stole the shit out of Tommy twice and was like, I will never lie for you like that again. So don't you ever put me in no position like that ever again. Tommy can't do nothing but take it, right? Because he knows he fucked up. Angela ended up getting her hands on the surveillance footage. Okay, so she sees them walking out of the building, because remember, after they killed the couple, they took the baby. The sister wrapped the baby up and took the baby. So that's who they see coming out the building. And Angie's like, we need to get a hold of that sister, because that's the person we need to be able to put all of this together. So Dre is at the club, okay? And I guess it was an opening night. So they at the club, and one of the girls approaches Dre and is like, look, I need you to take care of this idiot that's over in VIP. Ordered 3 bottles and won't pay. Say he know you. So it's Diego. Now, meanwhile, James showed up, okay? And he peeping, he see what's going on. He going about his business. Dre goes up into to the VIP to try to take care of Diego or whatever, and they like, did you take Diego? Like, was it taken care of? Dre's like, yeah, I took care of it. Everything is cool. And then this crazy ass Diego offers his woman to Dre. Not even offers, but demands that Dre had sex with this woman, okay, for a job well done. Dre like, nah, I'm good. He was like, nah, this ain't a request. This is an order. So they go in the bathroom. Dre like telling the girl, how much I gotta pay you to tell this nigga that we did this. And she like, pay me? Nigga, please. That nigga will kill me if I don't do what he say do. So they get into it, right? This crazy ass nigga Diego walks in and is like, now it's my turn to watch. Because remember earlier in the episode, Dre walked in on him. And Dre was like about to walk out. And Diego was like, no, stay. You know, because he wanted the audience. So now I guess this was Diego's turn to watch. And oh my God, like I just, he ain't dealing this. Lobos was crazy, but I don't know. This Jimenez a different type of crazy. Ghost. Now, this is where the show is about to end. Ghost is calling Angela again. She doesn't answer the phone. He like, we need to talk. He takes Raina's chain off, drops it in the cup holder, and he goes and he finds the drunk driver, Jeff. You see, Jeff was on his little name tag. Jeff is walking out the store with the bottle, guzzling the liquor. James is like, you know, you really shouldn't drink and drive. The dude is all like, yeah, mind your own fucking business. And he's like, yeah, did you hit and kill a kid not too long ago? Dude was like, I don't know the kid's name or whatever. And that was it. Ghost ran up on him, stabbed him, poked him up at least 20 times. Probably about 20 times. Poked him up, killed him, And that was all that frustration, because Ghost right now, Ghost can't get to who he wants to get to. And he just kind of, used Jeff because it was an opportunity. And that was the end of the episode, y'all. So what y'all think? How y'all feeling about Power so far? I'm still here for it, but I still feel like some stuff is really being stretched a little bit too far. But I hope, we only 2 episodes in, I hope it starts to pick up soon. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for stopping through. And if you haven't subscribed if you are still here watching this video right now and you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that so you can get more of me. Turn your notifications on so you can get notified when I upload. And I appreciate y'all. So I will catch y'all next week for another episode review of Power.